Alarming details emerging tonight about Donald Trump's would-be assassin. Sources now telling CNN that Thomas Matthew Crooks had pictures of both President Biden and former President Trump on his phone. And we're also learning he visited the site of Trump's rally twice after the event was announced. This news comes as the House and Senate were just briefed by the U.S. Secret Service on the shooting. Republican Senator Kevin Cramer from North Dakota is joining us right now. Senator, thanks very much for coming in. You listened in to this briefing on this from the Secret Service.
I did.
What can you tell us? What did you learn?
Well, interestingly, Wolf, the details, the timeline details, which we've all been pretty fascinated with, we probably got a little more detail than has been out in the public to this point. None of it, of course, is classified. And so I think we have a pretty good picture of what happened, when it happened. What we don't have a clear idea of is why did it happen? Why wasn't the response better? The FBI was also part of the briefing, so they dug in a little deeper on the young man's social media, which there wasn't a lot of. Other ways of communicating these pictures that you obviously already know about. What it's painting is a picture of a disturbed young man, in my view, but still not one that seems to have a clear motive that we can, at least at this point, understand.
So you were told of the pictures of both Biden and Trump on his phone?
We were.
And how did they explain that?
Just sort of matter of fact like that there were pictures of both presidents. Now, obviously, there were a lot more pictures of the venue in Pennsylvania, before the act and whatnot. But clearly, it's not clear that he's got a political philosophy that was driving whatever it is, that he did, or what motivated him to do what he did.
The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, he today called on the head of the U.S. Secret Service to resign. Do you think that would be appropriate?
Well, I'm surprised she hasn't, to be honest. I don't know what she could have done differently. That'll take time to figure out. But it's not hard not to look at the Secret Service response to this and not question, at the very least, their very top leadership. Just as an example, my question that did not get through in time for us to hear it was, okay, we know this timeline, we know these 20 minutes to however long it was, but at least 20 minutes where the threat was identified. Okay, you didn't know how to get to them, whether it was state cops or local cops that were responsible, sheriffs, whatever. With the Secret Service, what's unclear to me is why did the president remain on the stage for all of these minutes knowing that there was a threat of some sort on a rooftop close by? I just can't understand why he was kept in harm's way like that.
Some of your Republican colleagues are suggesting the Secret Service may have been more concerned about diversity amongst its ranks than about security in this particular.
Well,
you've heard those.
I've heard those things, and if that's true, and we certainly know that there's a strong emphasis on that sort of thing in the current administration and in certain corporations and whatnot, I don't know that that's the issue today. I don't know that's an issue we certainly should deal with, but I don't know that that's the issue today, or that that's the issue that led specifically to this very sad incident on Saturday.
Let's get to what's about to happen tonight. Sure. We're all going to be hearing from the vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance. Senator Vance is being described by President Biden as a clone of Trump. Do you agree?
I don't agree. I know J.D. fairly well. I mean, I've served with him now for a year and a half, for almost 2 years.
He's been in the Senate for a year.
I've been in the Senate with him, and J.D. is similar in basic philosophy, Wolf. But J.D. is he's very intellectual. He's very eloquent. I call him oftentimes the conscience of the populist wing of the Republican Party, whereas President Trump, has this broad philosophy, a populist philosophy, but he's much, he projects strength in a way that where J.D. I think projects more of an intellectual approach to populism. I think he's certainly a safe pick for the president in terms of somebody he'll work with well, he'll get along with well, he'll probably take good counsel from. But I also think Donald Trump doesn't answer to the vice president, and I think they'll be good partners, but I don't think he's a clone.
Senator, thanks very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota, appreciate it very much. Coming up, Aaron Burnett speaks exclusively to NFL legend Terrell Davis.